Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello students, welcome to Swayam Prabha channel 15. Course title is Human Resource Management and the lecture title is Job Evaluation. This is module 13, lecture 2. I am Dr. Soma Sengupta, Associate Professor Commerce, Kamla Nehru College, University of Delhi. In this lecture, we will cover the methods of job evaluation. Methods of job evaluation. The methods of job evaluation can be classified into non-quantitative methods and quantitative methods. The non-quantitative methods, they are simple methods which apparently make no use of detailed job factors. The factors are not quantified and they remain, but the factors, they remain in the minds of the evaluators. So the factors are not defined, not quantified, but they remain in the minds of the evaluators. The job is treated as a whole, so it is not divided into factors. The common non-quantitative methods, two methods are there: ranking or job comparison, grading or job classification. The quantitative methods, on the other hand, they are detailed approach where job factors are selected and measured. So they are quantified and that's why they are quantitative methods. The popular methods are point rating or point system, factor comparison method. The first method is ranking method. This ranking method is a non-quantitative method. Each of the jobs, they are compared with all the other jobs and these jobs are then ranked according to certain factors which are there in the mind of the evaluators, but neither these factors are explicitly measured and or discussed, but they are nevertheless there in the mind of the rater. So if there are 5 jobs, they will be ranked in some order or and given ranks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here a committee of several executives is constituted which evaluates each job as a whole and compares it with other jobs. Then all the jobs are ranked in order of importance as judged by duties, responsibilities and requirements or demands on the job holder. 3 techniques of ranking are there. One, job description, pair comparison, and the third one is ranking along a number line. So these are the 3 methods of which are there under ranking method. So the first method of ranking is on the basis of job descriptions. Job description is prepared for every job and job descriptions are then studied and analyzed. The differences between them are noted with respect to the to different things like duties, responsibilities, skill requirements and other key factors are also noted for comparison. Each job is assigned a rank depending upon its relative significance or importance. After each rater has independently assigned the ranks, their ranks are then they can be compared. The comparison is usually made by having the raters meet as a committee and discuss with each other their respective rankings. Final rankings may be done by majority vote or averaging the rankings of raters. So if there are 2 or 3 raters, the ranking given by each one of them, they will be added together and averaged, or they can be discussed and they can come out with a final ranking. The limitation of job description method is it is difficult when the number of job is huge. Accuracy of ranking may be low, but the advantage is that it is a simple method and it can be done very quickly. So this is first ranking method, that is job description. The second ranking method is pair or group comparison. Here, as the name suggests, each job is paired with every other job. The job descriptions of the two jobs in the pair are then studied and analyzed. The difference between them are noted in respect to the key points selected for the purpose. The more difficult job is in each pair is identified. Rank is assigned on the basis of number of times a job is rated more difficult. The number of comparisons will be n multiplied by n minus 1, the whole divided by 2. So if there are, say, 5 jobs, so it will be 5 into 4 by 2, that is 10 pairs of comparison will be there. But the task may become difficult as the number of jobs increases. Distinguishing differences among jobs may be overlooked or forgotten. This would result in less accurate evaluation. The third ranking method is ranking along a number line. Now here ranks are obtained from job descriptions or paired comparisons, and that is spaced along a number line. You can see a number line over there. 5 jobs are there, A, B, C, D, E, and they are arranged in the number line in accordance to in an ascending order from E to A in terms of importance. Now another job Y is picked up and a decision is made regarding its closeness to the highest rank job. That is, highest ranked is A. So how close is it to A, or where it should fall in the number line? On the basis of closeness of job Y to A, the former is located at some selected distance from A. So it may be nearer to B, it may be nearer to C. So how close, or it may be nearer to A. So accordingly, that Y, the new job, will be placed somewhere in the number line. Similarly, all other jobs can also be spaced by considering their closeness with the highest ranks and the preceding job. To establish the rates of pay for these specific jobs, the rates of pay can be associated with those jobs in the rank order. This method is suitable for organization of relatively small size. For big organization, again, it becomes a difficult task. So now we have discussed the 3 ranking methods. Merits and demerits of ranking method we will discuss. Merits of ranking method. In all the 3 methods, you have seen that it is simple to understand. Simplest methods of all types of methods, easily understood, easy to explain to the employees, requires less time, less expensive, fewer forms, and less work. Suitable for small organizations with clearly defined jobs. But there are certain demerits also, like specific job requirements. The factors, skill, effort, responsibility are not normally analyzed separately. So job is taken as a whole. Raters' judgment is strongly influenced by present wage rates. So generally they are forming a wage structure or relative worth of the job which is closer to existing pay structure. The system merely produces a job order and does not indicate to what extent it is more important. So you cannot say how much extent A is more important than B. Job A is more important than B. Even if you know A is more important than B. So how much you cannot find out. As there is no standards of an analysis of the whole job position, different basis of comparison between rates may occur. It tends to be influenced by variety of personal biases also. But nevertheless, since it is simple to understand, it is widely used. The next method is job classification or grading method. This is again a non-quantitative method. In this method, a number of predetermined grades or classifications are first established by a committee, and then the various jobs are assigned within each grade or class. So you first derive a grade structure, grade 1 job, grade 2 job, and you describe each one of them, and then any job can be picked up and it can be fitted in any of these grades depending upon the similarity of characteristic of that job with a particular grade class. So what is a job grade? A job grade is a group of different jobs of similar difficulty or requiring similar knowledge and skills to perform. Each job grade is defined in the form of a written grade description, which is usually derived from job analysis. Each job is classified into an appropriate grade depending on how well its characteristics match to group definition or grade description. Grade descriptions are used as a standard for assigning all the other jobs to a particular pay scale. Each job is grouped into a particular class or grade which represent different pay levels ranging from low to high. The advantages of job classification method or grading method are: it is simple and easy to understand, economical, accurate and systematic, develops an organization structure. These grades can create an organization structure as well, simplifies wage administration, makes grades comparable and with that of the other organizations. It is used in government organizations. Disadvantages are: difficult to write accurate grade descriptions. Jobs may involve tasks which overlap in more than one grade. Classification becomes difficult. It is a rigid method. Personal judgment is also involved. Now you can see one example of different class or grades mentioned in this box, where they are ranked as executive, skilled workers, semi-skilled workers, less skilled workers, and their description is also, grade description or class description is also given. The third method of job evaluation is point method. Now, point method is a quantitative method. Here we will identify different factors which are common to different jobs, and we will try to quantify, give weights to these factors to find out the worth of the job, and accordingly the pay structure will be derived. So here jobs are divided into component factors and points or weights are assigned to each factor depending on the degree of its importance in a particular job. Now, 6 steps are suggested by Flippo. Select job factors or characteristics, construct a scale or yardstick of values for each job factor, evaluate all jobs in terms of those yardsticks, conduct a wage survey for selected key jobs, design the wage structure, and adjust and operate the wage structure. Taking cue from the steps mentioned by Flippo, the different steps which are there, important steps in the point method, we will discuss them one by one. The first one is determine the job to be evaluated. Now, as I said that it is very expensive and time consuming affair to evaluate each and every job. So we will select only key or representative job. So a few benchmark or representative jobs are selected. Select job factors. The factors that are common to all the selected jobs are identified. So Flippo has identified 4 major job factors which we will make the basis for explaining the point method: skill, responsibility, effort and working condition. These factors are divided into sub-factors. Like say for example, skill can be further subdivided into sub-factors: education, experience, training and judgment. Define the factors and sub-factors clearly. So this has to be done to ensure that different raters interpret a particular factor in the same way. Continuing with the steps, next is determine the degrees. So different degrees of each factor are decided and defined clearly. Like degrees for education may be degree 1 for read, write and count, degree 2 for metric pass, degree 3 for graduation, degree 4 for post graduation and professional degree. Determine the relative values of the job factors. The relative value of various factors depends upon their significance to the job. Maximum points for each factor is fixed using a particular scale. For example, if you go into the details, you will find a NEMA-NEMTA scale, and that, on the basis of that you can fix the maximum points for each factor. So here in this example, you can see the points, how they can be distributed, and the maximum points which have been derived through wage surveys and using certain scales. So here you can see for factor skill, it is 400 maximum points, effort 175, responsibility 300, working conditions 125, making the total number of points 1000. Now, in the next step, assign point values to degrees. As we have discussed earlier, we can, for each of the factor, we can have various degrees, or each of the sub factor, you can have various degrees, and you have defined everything in detail, going from 1, 2, 3, 4, and to 5. So, points decided on the basis of arithmetic progression for each of the sub factor. Here in this example, it is showing the values of the sub factor of the factor skill. So first of all, here we are discussing point values to degrees for skill, and for skill the sub factors are education, experience, training, and judgment. And in arithmetic progression for level 1, whatever is there, that increases in arithmetic progression till the last one, that is the maximum point. So it can be education 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, a gradation which increases by 15 at each level. And when we total up the whole of the sub factor score, the fifth row, that is the maximum point, again it comes out to be the maximum point which we have assigned to the factor skill, and that is 400. Now, in the next step of point method, find point value of the job. How you can do that? For skill, we have found out. Likewise, you can do the same type of calculation for all the other factors like responsibility, working condition, and the various points assigned to different factors in a job are added up to find out the total points. This indicates the relative worth of the job. So you will pick up each of the representative job, find out its value in the whole of the progression table for each of the sub factor, total it up, you will get the total points. Now the maximum total point, how much you can get? That is 1000. If you remember, in the first calculation we have seen for the 4 factors, the maximum point is 1000. So if an employee in a hypothetical situation is, I'm talking about the, not the employee, the job. In a hypothetical situation, if a job is there which is of highest level of level in case of each of the factors and sub factors, so it can earn up to 1000 points. So one job may be 1000, but that is the standard which any difficult for any job to reach. So this indicate the relative worth of the job. Other jobs will get points according to the calculations. Now assign money values. Total points indicating worth of the job are connected to money values, keeping in view the prevailing wage rates. So you will do a kind of a survey, and you have decided for each point how much money value will be there. So you have fixed it up. So if as the number of points increases, the worth of the job increases, because that point is multiplied by the rate. A standard unit of money is assigned to each point to convert point scores into monetary values. So conversion of job points into rupee wages shown in this table. You can say that the point ranges from 101 to different grades are there till 101 to 200 to up to 901 to 1000. We have said the maximum point is 1000 for 4 factors which we have taken. Now we have decided a daily wage rate 150 to 250, 250 to 350. Accordingly, we can multiply with the points, so find out the worth of the job. So if it is at the first range, the job grade is 1, and next is 2, 3, and so on, and the last one, which is the highest, it is the job grade 9. So this is the whole process of point method. Now the merits and limitation of point method. Merits. It is comprehensive and accurate. You have seen how accurately they are trying to measure the worth of the job, and it is a comprehensive, process with so many steps to quantify the factors, sub factors, and finally arrive at the worth of the job. Assignment of point scores and money values is consistent. Minimum human bias and judgment is there. It is systematic wage differentials according to the level of job is determined. The limitations are complicated and difficult to understand, time consuming and expensive, chances of error if assigned point values are not realistic, difficult to determine factor levels and assign point values, not suitable for managerial jobs wherein the work is not measurable in quantitative terms. The last method of job evaluation is factor comparison method. It is a quantitative method developed by Thomas E. Hitton. It determines the relative ranks of the jobs to be evaluated in relation to monetary scale. It is essentially a combination of ranking and point system. Like rank order method, it rates jobs by comparing one job with another. Like the point system, it is more analytical in the sense of subdividing jobs into compensable factors. 5 factors are generally evaluated for each of the job: mental requirements, skills, physical requirements, responsibilities, and working conditions. So these are the 5 factors which are evaluated. Steps in factor comparison method. First step is select and define the factors. We have already said that for this method, we generally use 5 factors like mental requirements, skills, physical requirements, responsibility, and working conditions. These factors are common to all jobs and hence they are selected and they are defined clearly. Select the key jobs. Time and again we are saying, because of time constraint and so many jobs are there, you will select only the key jobs. Key jobs serve as a standard against which all other jobs are compared. A key job is the one whose content has become stabilized over a period of time and whose wage rate is considered to be presently correct by the management and the union. Key jobs should be a cross section of all jobs in the organization, representing all levels of job. Next step is rank key jobs by factors. The job descriptions are analyzed. Key jobs are rated in terms of selected factors. Decide rates for key jobs. This is the next step. A fair and equitable wage rate is determined for each key job. Apportion the wage rate. Allocate wage rates for a job among the identified and ranked factors. Next step is develop a job comparison scale and insert key jobs in them. When all the key jobs have been evaluated and wages allocated in that manner, a job comparison scale can be constructed. Evaluate the remaining jobs. Evaluate the job in question factor by factor in relation to the key jobs on job comparison scale. Then each job is to be evaluated and compared to other jobs in terms of each factor. A new job titled carpenter, for example, similar to tool maker in skill, mechanist in physical effort, welder in mental requirement, painter in responsibility, and painter in working condition. Design, adjust, operate the wage structure. So with this table, you can understand the whole of the factor comparison method. What we have done, we have selected the key jobs: toolmaker, welder, mechanist, painter, laborer. These are the key jobs. The daily wage rates are found out. The different factors are skill, physical effort, mental requirement, responsibility, and working condition. Now, these wage rates, they are apportioned to different factors in terms of its characteristics and importance. So, like for tool maker, the most important, and as well as like for welder, mechanist, and everybody, and we have ranked them like in terms of skill. First, we have ranked them for physical effort, for mental requirement, for responsibility, for working condition, and then accordingly we have apportioned the wage rate for each of the key jobs. Now, suppose we take up a new job to be evaluated, say the carpenter's job. Now for carpenter job, we will match its qualities with that of all the other key. We will analyze the job description of carpenter with, in terms of these factors, with the key jobs. So we find that in terms of skill, it is similar to tool maker. So the amount which is apportioned for tool maker for skill is 250. So we will take 250 for skill for carpenter. For physical effort, if it is similar to mechanist, so we will take mechanist physical effort, that is 70 rupees for carpenter. For mental requirement, it is similar to welder, so we will again pick up 140 for that. Responsibility, it is similar to painter, so in if we see painter with responsibility, that is 120. 120 will be selected. For working condition, it is again like painter, so 180. So the total wage rate for the carpenter will be rupees 760. So this way we have calculated the wage of the carpenter. Now the merits of factor comparison method, it is analytical, objective, systematic and logical, able to handle a large number of jobs and enjoy stability. Prejudice and human judgment are minimized. Numerical basis for wage differential is there. Once the scales are developed, they can be used for a long period of time. Jobs can be easily placed in distinct categories. Demerits are, it is time consuming and expensive, difficult to understand and operate. It is difficult to determine the factor levels within factors and assign values to them. Considerable clerical work is entailed in recording and summarizing the rating scales. Summarizing this lecture, we can say the methods of job evaluation can be non-quantitative or quantitative. In ranking method, each job is evaluated as a whole and compared with other jobs, and all the jobs are then ranked in order of importance. Three techniques are there: job description, pair comparison and ranking along a number line. In grading method, each job are grouped is grouped into classes or grades which represent different pay levels. In point method, jobs are divided into component factors and points or weights are assigned to each factor depending on degree of its importance in a particular job. Factor comparison method rates existing jobs on the basis of factors, and the new jobs are evaluated in relation to the existing ones in monetary scale. You can refer to books by Flippo or Gupta or C.B. Gupta or Dale Yoder. Thank you, students. So this was Job Evaluation Module 13, Lecture 2.